Like the one he shot the baseline fade and double pumped over Schroeder. I was like, no, that's like, in the moment, I was like, no way you even thought about doing that. Like, that's ridiculous. Like seeing him every day, the way he works, and, you know, his approach to the game and the competitor that he is, like the 5-on-5 runs we had were always like elite, and like it felt like his team was always majority of the time winning, and like he was defending. Like he can do everything. I think Ant is, you know, probably the best player at his position, the future of the league for sure.
He has that special, like, it's different.
And he's smooth. Like,
I love him.
He knows how to use that athleticism the right way. That's what I love about him.
He's switching his number.
Because he goes to the lane sometimes and it's like a finesse, like, I don't have to punch on you. I'm gonna just go around you with this Euro. And then you forget, like, he can go upstairs with you too.
That's what's scary.
That's what's scary.
It's like, is he gonna, you know, roll me, or is he gonna?
That's why it's such a great package that he can either dunk on you or he can slow one-step you and get to his layups.
To paraphrase what Haliburton and PG said about Ant in one single word, they are just letting the world know that Anthony Edwards is frickin' him. And if you try to stick your mouth where it doesn't belong, there's gonna be hell to pay, because this dude is a straight-up killer. I mean, even though we're not gonna see Draymond for a long, long time, he and his big mouth tried to start beef against Edwards in one of their matchups this season.
Play cross-court pass is stolen. Edwards headed the other way. He will pick up a foul.
Draymond barking at someone and instigating is pretty typical for what we see from him on a nightly basis. But the thing is, Draymond barked up the wrong tree. Cause, Ant is not gonna take his tongue lashing lying down without firing back some shots of his own.
Here was Anthony's response. He said, "Nobody's worried about you, bruh. Hell nah." And then he went out and scored a bunch of points.
But at the same way, if someone gets hot, maybe that could be contagious as well. Edwards with the shot clock at 7. Edwards from the foul. Edwards has been the closer. 11 in the quarter.
Edwards led his game do the talking by scoring 10 points in the final 5 minutes and 26 seconds of the game, going 3 of 5 from the field and a perfect 4 for 4 at the foul line. And when it was all said and done, the Ant-Man had 33 points along with 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals to let Draymond and his Bay Area pals know that he's not the type of guy you could just talk trash to and get away with it. Anyway, from that game on, things became personal for Edwards. Because in their next matchup, the Ant-Man sought revenge once again as he delivered a bunch of smooth baskets before dishing the assist that would put the nail in the coffin.
Play again. A little misdirection. Anthony Edwards right. Down at the high post. They're setting up Edwards. There's Wiggins. Good rotate. Screen by Sharp. Chris Paul to the rim. And he threw it backwards. He could have laid that up. He thought Gobert was going to be there. And Edwards pulling up Pajeski with 5. Edwards lean in pass to Conley. 3 on the way, and he got it.
In that in-season tournament game, the Ant-Man dropped 24-4 to lead the T-Wolves to a dub. Meanwhile, Draymond, on the other hand, didn't get to see the end of the game, and in fact, he just logged a total of 2 minutes because, he was too busy choking out Rudy Gobert. Now, this was not the first time that someone tried to yap their mouths at Edwards, because 1 month ago in their matchup against the visiting Celtics, Jason Tatum also talked some trash to him. And guess what? It backfired on him big time. I mean, right off the bat, Edwards showed Tatum that he's the best rising star in the league today by doing these ridiculous moves as if he's channeling his inner Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
I don't want to give up on it either, but you sort of want it to be more organic.
Edwards hanging, scoring.
D4-48. Both teams trading three-point plays. Edwards.
Holiday will fire off the heel. Long rebound to Edwards, cleared for takeoff.
Now, when the game was on the line with a score of 101-101, Tatum made a crucial stop against Edwards. And according to Ant-Man, Tatum began smack-talking him right after that, leading to overtime. He got the stop on me at the end of regulation, and he was talking smack at the jump ball in overtime, Edwards said, via The Athletic's John Krasinski. And I told him, I'm coming again. Tatum called me up for an ISO and tried to ISO me, and I'm like, I play defense, I just got 5 fouls. Know what I'm saying? Edwards said. So I had to show him I could play defense. But as expected, Edwards didn't let his guard down and came back at Tatum saying, I'm coming again. And indeed, Edwards backed up his words and smoked the entire Celtics throughout OT.
Edwards off balance. Edwards sizing up Horford. Pull up. Got it!
Drew Holiday trying to house Mike Conley that time. Mike said no.
Edwards! Yes, sir! Edwards spinning, putting it up.
Although Tatum put up a good fight by having 32 points, Anthony Edwards outclassed him by dropping 38 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists on 60% shooting to help the T-Wolves grab a huge statement win. And based on that interaction with Ant, I think Tatum will now think twice about talking trash to Baby Jordan. Anyway, when we talk about talking trash, Dillon Brooks is also on top of everyone's mind. And before he got shipped out to the Rockets, Brooks tried poking the bear while he was still playing for the Grizzlies.
Motion. So Dillon Brooks punches Anthony Edwards in the face.
Everybody gets one. 3:13 to go.
You get a technical. You get a technical.
I mean, this is nothing new coming from Brooks, as he would often do that kind of stuff just to get into people's heads or throw them off their game. Well, that kind of thing is not going to cut it with the Ant-Man, because first, he's built different, and second of all, he's going to come for your sorry ass and make you pay for messing with them.
Gamesmanship.
7 seconds, Edwards, the Euro and the finish.
Game, by the way.
Edwards, the lob, go Bear!
Crafty.
Edwards, down the lane, oh, the English off the...
The revenge was quick and swift for the Ant-Man, as he handed a solid stat line of 29 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds to Brooks and his equally arrogant teammates. Now, once the dust settled, Ja's father had some words with Ant after the game, and even if he really didn't do anything, Edwards taught him a lesson or two about respect. Here's what he said to him.
Hey, yo, I know who you are. You ain't got to tell nobody. Hey, but hey, no, it's only way. It's only way him.
Right after that heated game, both Edwards and a bunch of Grizzlies kept chirping on social media, and it's pretty clear that the animosity between the two parties hasn't simmered down just yet. Anyway, while this was going on in the backdrop, it was as if the basketball gods were listening, because in the first round of the playoffs, the Timberwolves and Grizzlies crossed paths for the first time, which made things even more interesting. Now, despite not logging a single second in the playoffs, Edwards' personal vendetta against the Grizzlies has added a bit of extra motivation to what he was about to do. I mean, to have an idea of what he did, here's how the Ant-Man responded in Game 1.
He's talked to us about Richard in what he feels like his group learned. Edwards! Edwards, the crossover acceleration for the... Sending away Towns. Edwards. Oh, step back, mid-range is money. FedEx Forum is jumping. Edwards slides inside.
In his playoff debut, Edwards put up monster numbers with 36 points on 12 for 23 shooting from the field, along with 4 triples and 6 steals to finally put the Grizzlies in their place. And in the post-game interview, Edwards didn't hold back in saying that it was actually the Grizzlies, especially its loud fans, who are the main reason why he went off that game.
I think Memphis fans ignites my game when we're playing here.
Why is that?
Because they talk so much trash. Yeah, it's just, they just be talk. Even the kids was the worst today, like the little kids. Like he was 8 years old, 10 years old. Anthony, go sit down, you suck. Like, it's just fun, man. Basketball is fun to me. I love it.
Anyway, aside from the Grizzlies, Jimmy Butler also tried to punk the Ant-Man once upon a time, and just like the rest of the guys we've talked about so far, it didn't end well for the Heat's big dog. I mean, in their matchup 2 seasons ago, Butler ripped the ball out of his hands, even though the play had stopped already.
He did.
Despite being one of the younger guys in the league at the time, Edwards stood his ground and didn't give an inch against the much older veteran. And in the next play, he showed Jimmy why he made a huge mistake in messing with the wrong kid.
Ant off the feed, and Anthony
Following that homicide kind of dunk, the Ant-Man continued his rampage by having his fingerprints on both ends of the floor. Whether it's about finding the open man, hitting clutch baskets, as well as making crucial stops in defense.
Edwards for Beasley, corner three! Edwards, three, yes!
Lowry kind of flopped over the top of his legs and Ant sniffs out the steal.
Second, Russell feeding Edwards. Back to Russell, open look, the triple, and it's good! Butler into the corner. Hero with Edwards all over him. Eventually come up with it. Edwards says, give me back the basketball.
When the final buzzer went off, Ant-Man smoked the Heat with an all-around performance, dropping 33 points, 14 rebounds, and 6 assists. And it's pretty clear that right after that game, Jimmy knew then and there that he's not the only big dog on the block who can bark and back it up. Edwards nudged Butler in the back before the Heat star got into his face. Nothing came of the altercation outside double technicals. After the game, Edwards gave his take on the matter. "He ain't finna fight nobody out there," Edwards said of Butler. "All that walking up on each other, that's stuff for the birds, man. I ain't about to fight. I don't get into all that. That shit be fake." Now, in the post-game, Edwards talked about his interaction with Jimmy, and even though he appears to be intimidating, Edwards just said Jimmy's gonna do nothing because he can't handle the smoke that he was about to light up. Anyway, what do you think makes Anthony so dangerous in these kinds of moments? Let us know your thoughts on this by putting your comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this next one to find out what happens when you trash talk Anthony Edwards. Go ahead and click it. It's free.